Good morning, good afternoon, and or good evening. You're watching Nub's Collection, a YouTube series dedicated to the cataloging and review of every game in my physical media collection. I am your host, Victor Nub, and today we are looking at Alien Syndrome, which was released in March of 1988. There's going to be quite a few games in the next couple of weeks here that were released in that same month. Don't know if that was pure coincidence or they just happened to have a lot of games they wanted to get out fairly quickly at that time. And my family just was kind of in a mood to buy a lot of games. May not be a coincidence that March is the month of my birth, so maybe these were some of these were gifts for my birthday. Don't know for certain. May just be a coincidence. But anyway, this game, Alien Syndrome, you'll note that some of the kind of dark, gritty aspects of it, maybe not the actual level designs as you're looking at right now, but kind of this hopeless kind of despair feeling that permeates the game design, very reminiscent of Alien, the movie trilogy. Or I guess they've made a lot more than just three of them, but I mean, even if you look at these monsters here, they look very much like the xenomorphs from the Alien movies. And that's not a mistake. I'm sure they were trying to capture some of that sense without actually having to pay for the movie rights. And the game kind of involves going after the fellow members of your crew that were incapacitated and trying to save them before the timer in the top right corner there expires. I do remember that a lot of the weapons in this game had a lot of similarities to the weapons that you find in Contra, which itself was kind of a mix of multiple different movies. I mean, the main cover of the game is basically just a reskinned version of the cover for Predator. Like, there's literally, you could do a photo side-by-side of one specific scene in that movie where Arnold Schwarzenegger is walking through the jungle trying to find the Predator, and stick it next to the cover of this, of Contra, and you would be like, wait, did they literally just wipe out Arnold's face and then replace it with a generic soldier guy? And they did. But of course, we're not playing Contra today. We're playing Alien Syndrome. Just in a little aside that I always found kind of amusing about that game. Unfortunately, we won't see it in this collection because I never owned Contra. I've played it plenty of times. This is what I had. And you're going to see it's not quite the same thing. It does have some difficulty, quite like Contra had difficulty. That was, at times very unfair. In this game, it's like the enemies will kind of spawn out of the middle of nowhere, and sometimes it's not fair the way that they get laid out when you enter a room. But other than that, I think this is another one of those games that, despite having fairly comfortable controls, I never beat. Common refrain in this YouTube series is that I never beat a game. I think once we start getting into games on maybe as early as the Nintendo, we'll start finding games that I actually did at some point manage to beat. Sega had a love for that arcade aesthetic where the game was just impossibly difficult because they wanted you to put quarters in the machine. I'm glad developers moved away from that. It's hard to feel like you got your money's worth out of a game if you're constantly dying and getting sent back to the very beginning of it if you paid full price to own the game. I want the fireball. Good weapon. Yes. So, I don't remember how this game works exactly, but just from what I'm seeing right now, I would assume you have to find every single incapacitated crew member in order to fight the boss. I don't think picking multiple power-ups does anything for the damage potential or range. I think it just gives you points. And there is a game design choice that I don't think really matters anymore, is points. It's rare when... Okay, that would sound an awful lot like the kind of music to hurry up and get to the boss. Maybe we're done. Whoa. See what I mean? They just kind of pop up in the middle of the screen, and sometimes you have no warning. You just gotta get away from it quickly. Alright, so the boss room was here. Yep, it's open. Let's go find him. Okay, that's gross looking. If you're familiar with the old Earthbound character design for Master Belch, ouch! That character model looks kind of like him. I hope this means that the fight's almost over. Whoa! Okay, don't want to do that. Hey, yo! Whew. Yay! Ah! Tough pattern. See, I don't think time or experience is going to make me any better at this particular game. The good news about this game, and unfortunately we won't be able to experience this today, is that it turns out this is a two-player game, so you probably do have double the chance to succeed with a second player along. We'll see if we can't find a way to get a couple of games in a future episode of Nub's Collection with other people, if it's a multiplayer game. Just to get kind of a full taste of what the experience of playing the game was like. Can't promise that'll be the case in every game, but I think if there's a way to coordinate with a couple of my friends to come over, pick up a controller, and join in with me, I think it'd be fun to take a look at some games. This probably wouldn't be one that I would be clamoring to get a buddy to come over and play with me. Not to mention, since I only have the one D-pad, it means I'd have to use one of those dreaded joysticks that I keep complaining about. We're going to do that. I'm going to play one of these games with the joystick, so you guys get to hear that noise firsthand. It is atrocious. In my head. I bet once I actually do plug it in and start playing, I'll be like, wow, this isn't as bad as I remember it being. In which case, I'm going to feel like a fool. I'll be like, man, I could have done so much better in Afterburner if I had the stick plugged in. That's not going to happen. It's a warp. We don't want to mess with the warp right now. Tell you what would have been nice in this game that they didn't include or just steal outright from Contra was the spread gun. That is a very satisfying weapon. I will admit that I don't think I've ever beaten Contra. We're going to talk a lot about Contra today because I don't know if there's a whole lot of additional thoughts on this game that I'll be able to offer, but Contra I can certainly speak to with some comfort. I don't think I ever beat the game without using the Konami code. Unfortunately, it's just one of those things where if you play it enough, yeah, you probably get really familiar with enemy patterns and timing your progression through the level, which is a larger part of that game than people realize, is just knowing where to slow down if you're running through a level, because an enemy's going to spawn on a certain spot, and if you wait just a second, you can shoot them and they won't be able to get the jump on you the way that the game probably intended. In fact, I don't even know if I've done it with the Konami code active. If I have, it's been a long time. Gotta be getting close to the last guy. Thinking he's up here, that's it. Okay, up here, and that's it. There he is. Just weird, I don't remember coming here last time. Ooh! Clutch dodge. Sounds like a brand of vehicle. Coming fall of 2022, the Clutch Dodge. 440 horsepower is the leanest, meanest truck driving power you've ever seen. I think 440 horsepower would basically be moving that vehicle 300 miles an hour. I don't know. I'm not a car guy. Well, we'll see that in a couple of future episodes of Nub's Collection. I do have some car games, like actual like hardcore car games, and I'm terrible at them. Unfortunately, it doesn't matter if it's real life or a video game, I have absolutely no skill when it comes to driving professional vehicles. Can I hit him down here? No, I can't. Whoa. Come on, Blob. Gotcha! Hey, beat the first boss. I think we're also going to find that this is one of those games where they spent a good chunk of the budget on character design and level layout, and not so much on music. Aw, I missed my flamethrower. I want it back. There it is. I'll take that. Try to watch out for the blueberry croissant. That's one of those words that I'll never say like a normal human being. I'll always add way too much of a French affectation to it when I say it. It's not croissant, it's croissant. Drop the T at the end. Croissant. You know what I haven't eaten in probably 10 years? Croissant. And certainly not ones made with bright blue dough that comes alive and moves around on its own. I have no idea what these question mark blocks do for me. Maybe nothing. It's entirely possible they just give you points. Whoa, okay, almost touched him. I don't know why, but I'm starting to think these guys shoot stuff out of their mouths. I don't have any. There it is! I was right. And the green boogers do as well. It's a weird choice to have a monster that you can shoot and it just kind of disappears for a little bit and then it comes right back. I didn't mean the little green faces. I guess technically all of these monsters are disappearing and then coming right back. So my point's kind of lost there without more definition. You know what I meant. Did I already pick that guy up? Is that part of the hook of this game, is you feel like you're not making any progress and then the game just tells you, hey, go to the end boss. Well, we know where the end boss is. Can I go in? Cannot. Alright. I don't want to jinx it, but I don't think I've died yet in this run. Which means they're gonna get me somewhere. Enemy's gonna pop up right underneath me, and I won't have time to get out of the way. Oh. Get rid of them all, except for this guy. And that guy. I'm really happy they don't kill the people that they keep spawning over top of and just mauling, apparently. That would have made this a more frustrating experience. Kind of like Zombies Ate My Neighbors, where... Oh, that was... I mean, I'm sure we'll get to it at some point when we get to that game, because I do have Zombies Ate My Neighbors. One of the most frustrating parts of that game was the fact that the game would give you 10 people that you have to save to start the game. And most of them are just kind of out in the middle of an open field and no enemies nearby to threaten them. And there's plenty of areas in later stages where literally the game will spawn an enemy right next to one of them. And you have no chance to save them. And those were very unfair. Alright, he is not taking damage. Oh, there we go. Can I get him on the side? Doesn't look like it. Whoa. Careful dodging. Can I hit his mouth? Okay, yes, I can hit his mouth. Boy, this stage is just loaded with croissant. Croissant. Look at this. These are croissant. And they're like normal colors this time. Come on! That wasn't fair. We may have been screwed over by that. He's starting to fire way more. Nothing's hitting. Come on. I might hit him with something. This is going to be impossible without that flamethrower. Look at this. Nothing. No damage. I hope it's not that I have to kill these, I keep saying croissant because they're croissant. If there's a croissant on screen, you can't shoot him. Nothing's going. Nothing. Come on, game. Alright. Oh! Nope, nothing. This is torture. Nothing. Nothing. I mean, the bolts were going right over his body and they weren't hitting. That's not good design. I think we might go into that fight with a laser beam, see if that won't help. Maybe I'm not penetrating far enough into his body to do the damage I need to actually harm him. Which doesn't make sense, because it looked like some of those flames were actually going far enough to hurt him. Or certainly acting that way. And if it seems like I'm following the same path over and over, it's probably because I do tend to do that when I play games without a map, is I'll just kind of follow the same path, which is usually a clockwise pattern around the edge of the screen to make sure I hit every room in the map. Which, you know, if you ever needed it, spoiler for any mazes you ever run into, like funhouse mazes. Pick one side of the wall to stick to and just keep sticking to that the entire way through. You will reach the end eventually. Oh, come on. Get him. So I'm going to offer a controversial take here on Aliens, or the Alien Trilogy, Quadrilogy, whatever you want to call it, the franchise. I really liked the first movie. I did not like the second one. That's just me. I know there are people out there who think it's the superior movie and the one that everyone should watch instead of the first movie if you're going to watch any of them, but for whatever reason, it just wasn't the same movie that the first one was to me. And that's, you know, by design. If you have two completely different directors and they're both going for completely different aesthetics, that's gonna probably be the result. But I like the idea of, you know, an entire crew being chased by one movie monster that's unbelievably skilled at killing them, and they have absolutely no recourse. And I felt like Aliens was more about just proving that Ripley was tougher than all the Marines that they put in there. And it was, I don't know, felt silly. The first movie, she wasn't tougher than the aliens or the Marines or the people on the Nostromo. She was smarter than them. And that was what was her greatest skill. Oh, 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 okay. That was some dicey moves there. Another hot take, I actually liked Alien Resurrection. I know a lot of people didn't like it. It was definitely a significant step down from the other movies. I don't know. I just enjoyed what it was. It did kind of break the story when, you know, after the third movie, spoiler alert if you haven't seen all the Alien movies at this point, It kind of breaks the narrative when Ripley is supposed to die at the end of the third movie, and then, oh, hey, you know, we cloned her and brought her back. Whoa, okay. And the funny thing about that is, you know, saying that I like that movie is going against what I was just talking about with the first movie and why I liked it more in Aliens, but I don't know. There was something about the way it was designed, how dark it was, and at times a little bit silly. And also the aliens actually looked like they were smart, which is something that, I don't know, they really captured in any of the other films. Alright, we're going to use the laser beam this time. Kill them croissant. Alright, this is the exit. I guess technically they also kind of look like sentient blue turds. That's getting a little graphic. Oh, come on! Squishy D-pad did me in. Alright, I guess we're taking the fireball. Although when I get screwed over by that multicolored croissant at the end of this stage, I'm going to be very upset. Yoink. Gotcha. I wonder if the question mark boxes don't actually give you extra lives. That would be a nice touch. So I do feel like I had more than 3 lives when I fought the boss in this area last time. I don't know if that's based on points or what, but it would certainly help if I get into later areas. Nope, nope, nope. What is this? Well, it just gives you the machine gun again, which is garbage. You don't want this weapon. Okay, watch out. Quit spitting your crap at me, guy. Get out of here. I don't think they're requiring me to get every person. I think they're just having me reach a certain number, and then they'll let me leave. Which is gruesome, because it's like they're saying, well, save 80% of the crew and then get out of there. And the other 20% are like, hey, you have plenty of time. It's only going to take you 30 seconds to kill the boss, and you got like 5 minutes. Nope, can't do it. Sorry, I gotta leave. See ya. Bang. Too early. There were 2 guys that hadn't spawned in yet. I like the convention in most older games where the laser beam weapon is the one that cuts through everything. So you fire one shot and you could kill, 6 enemies if they're all lined up perfectly. Oh. Alright, come on. Let's get theirs. I want to make it to the 3rd level. I don't ask for much. I just want to be able to beat another game that I've never beaten before on Nub's Collection. I think the people want to see it too. Alright, here we go. Okay. Yeah, see, it's hitting. Maybe it's when the mouth is closed. But this was definitely a good choice, because I was not doing much with the fireball, and I was definitely not doing anything with the regular laser beam. Or with the regular machine gun. It's not changing colors. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. Whew. I was closer than it should have been. Stupid French pastries. Burn in the oven. Oh, come on! Oh. I was so close. He was starting to get frantic. I don't think we're going to do it this time, then. Well, he's moving fast now. Maybe we got a chance. If I can ever get anything to hit him with this gun, I don't get this. This is infuriating. What must I do? Nothing! Nothing's hitting him! What do they want? This is not good design. I think I know what part of the problem is. We skipped one of the most important parts of the entire series. I didn't read you the what's happening. Very irresponsible of me. Let's go ahead and set it up, and then we'll know what I'm doing wrong. The year 2089. A mysterious alien space fleet invades human-occupied space. Called the Alien Syndrome, they are unlike anything mankind has ever encountered. Their ships are as large as cities. They have weapons powerful enough to destroy planets. With the entire human race threatened, the Alien Syndrome must be stopped. A battalion of Earth Command troopers attacks the alien fleet, but they are captured and held hostage. In desperation, Earth Command asks for volunteers to go on a rescue mission. Only 2 soldiers are brave enough to step forward. Out of the entire planet, 2 people? Seriously? Maybe they should have said just the top 2 people left alive. There's probably a trillion people on the planet at that point, and they could only find 2 that wanted to do this. Okay, stop editorializing. They are Earth Command troopers Ricky and Mary, who didn't have last names, I guess. The meanest combat troopers in the galaxy. So they are tough guys. I should read more before I start editorializing on these. Armed with only a short-range combat rifle, no kidding, they must infiltrate all 7 alien ships, rescue the hostages, and escape. Alive? The odds are against them. The aliens can appear anytime, anywhere. The hostages are depending on Ricky and Mary, and on you. I'm pointing at you, even though you are through the internet. Yeah, that's it. There's a lot of description on the aliens, but nothing that's going to help the game any. But now we know the setup, which means I'm going to beat that second level boss. I'm going to do it before we call this a day. Or I'm going to try one more time, and then when I don't do it, I'm going to get frustrated and quit. Because that's just what I do. Gotcha. Gotcha. Oh no, go back. Get the fireball. Oh. Oh. Spawned right on my feet. Jeez. I don't like that at all. Alright, stay up. I think if you touch that black area with the yellow stripe around it, you actually, like, fall to your death. Why the aliens can walk on that and you can't, I don't know. Not a programmer. Come on, guy. Gotcha. Maybe it's just my overactive imagination, but does it look like these aliens all have buck teeth? Now look at them. They got like 2 little chiclets in the front there. I like to think when they spawn in, even though you're not hearing any kind of noise when they arrive going, "Duh!" That's making me feel better about how bad this is going yet again. I swear, later games in Nub's collection will not all be horrible, disastrous failures on my part to make any serious progress. It's my intention, if we can do it in a reasonable amount of time, to beat certain games with one sitting. Alright. Getting there. We got, what, 1, 2 more we gotta get? Hey, watch out. Get out of here. Get out of here. Get out of here. I guess while we're on the subject of the Alien movies, I should mention that while there were a lot of people who, for some reason, hated the newer 2 movies, I guess they're prequels, that came out probably in the last 8 or 9 years, I liked Prometheus okay for what it was. I did not watch enough of Alien Covenant to have an informed opinion on the quality of it. It looked okay. I think the thing I found most notable about what I had seen with that movie was the fact that the lead actress was Sam Waterston's daughter, who, if that name doesn't ring a bell, it was the badass lawyer from Law & Order for years. Oh, that thing singed my feet. Should be dead right now. Got him. This guy's not giving me so much trouble. Thank you, Master Belch. I think it's kind of a rip that they keep stealing my fireball weapon away from me at the end of the level. I think I've earned it. It's funny, they had lots of lawyers in Law & Order, but I don't think any of them ever came even close to capturing the gravitas that Sam Waterston would have delivering, you know, the final statement, closing remarks, whatever they call it at the end of the trial for his character. Blanking on the name. They made the show so that you knew who the people were, but sometimes you didn't remember the name, and maybe that was intentional. Like, the idea was each episode, you know, week to week was a standalone. They did eventually try to wrap in some storylines for the characters themselves that were playing these cops and lawyers, but it was always kind of like on the periphery. The main meat of the story was the investigation, the trial, and whatever the verdict was. We have covered a lot of different franchises on TV and movies today. Oh, come on. I don't know what to say. I like a lot of different things. I hate to say that the common refrain for most of the games on Sega Master System that I've complained about in pretty much every episode of Nub's Collection and the Long Plays is that there just wasn't enough variety in the music. I don't know what I can say about that other than, you know, I like music. I want to hear more. Give me a kaleidoscope. Smorgasbord, a horn of plenty. And while we're spiraling off of stream of consciousness thoughts, has anyone ever actually bought a horn o' plenty and filled it with plenty? Of anything. I mean, it could be paper clips as long as there's plenty of them in there. That's the whole point, right? I feel like you buy a mesh horn of some kind and you don't put anything in it, people will look at you like you're crazy. Come on. Alright, get out there. These guys seem to move way faster after a couple of seconds. Could also be that there's like an overload of sprites on the screen, so everything kind of gets slowed down. It's not here. It's not here. I gotta go over one more. There we go. Alright, this is gonna be the run. This is the one where I get past the second level, and then probably lose immediately in the third. Do not die to a croissant. Oh. No! Well, it's over. Since the game does not allow you to shoot the enemy, apparently. And now, for some reason, it's working. Maybe they gotta both be on the screen to damage him. No? That certainly seems to be the case. So don't kill the croissant. Okay, this is bad. This is bad. I don't like this at all. No, nothing. Maybe it's the height of his character model? I don't know what to do. This is weird. Alright, well, it probably would have been nice to see a third level, but this game has beaten me down like so many others do. Let's go ahead and wrap up with the review phase. We'll do the good, the bad, and the ugly. The good, hard to call on that one. I mean, the character controls fairly well. I feel like the last game that we played, Golvelius, had some pretty rough overworld movement, which was a little bit frustrating when you were taking on enemies. I don't think the deaths in this game were necessarily my fault when it wasn't a boss character that wasn't taking damage for some reason. But yeah, just the standard overworld enemies, I seem to have, you know, not too much trouble shooting them or getting them around them. The bad, 2 songs. Well, 3. And none of them are very good. The main one that's kind of like plodding along is not too catchy. And the boss is kind of, I don't know, a lot of high-pitched noises. Not great. The ugly, I mean, as we saw when I got to that second boss fight, it seemed like if you did not have something other than the machine gun, you weren't damaging him. I don't know how they thought that was good game balance. I mean, if you get to the fight with anything else, you stand a chance. A chance. No promises, but yeah, this was another one of those games where it's like, it's fun to take a look back, but I don't feel pressed to ever come back to this game again. So as far as the review score, again, we're doing a scale of Randars, 1 to 10 Randars. Scoring this, I'm giving it a 3. 3 Randars. The bosses are unreasonably difficult, or at least the second one was. And the game is pretty limited in what it is asking you to do. Just walk around, pick up people, and then go to the goal. Not a whole lot of meat on this one. So unfortunately, seems to be a recurring theme with the Sega Master System games is, with a handful of exceptions, there are a lot of games that have very little going on for them, and that may be why Sega was struggling to keep up with Nintendo, because the breadth, I can't say the word, of content that they were offering just didn't have any depth or variety, which is, a sad story, or sad commentary on the way that Sega ended up getting out of the console war, and then just becoming a software developer. So that'll do it for this episode of Dump's Collection. As always, I do appreciate you all watching and playing along. Well, not playing along, just watching along. Although if you do have the game and you decide to play along and you're just kicking butt and making me look terrible, feel free to put a note in the comments and tell me how bad I am at these games, because I will concede you're watching what I try to do in these games, and in many cases it's pretty terrible, which is sad because I don't think I'm a bad gamer. But thanks for watching, everyone, and I will see you next time.